Hey everybody, I'm Monty, and Channel 5 is reporting that Top Gun Maverick is the first movie for Tom Cruise to go over $1 billion.
And I am your special guest, Lauren Spearman, and I am reporting that Canada is the producer of 85% of the world's maple syrup.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Canada. Buttersworth and Jemima, whoever else you rock with. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Guys, special edition of Channel 5 today. And I actually I'm very thankful. My guest, she's here. I literally called her about 30 minutes ago because I wanted to talk. I wanted to get this show on wax, and so she's on a different time zone. She got overdressed for me and stuff to do that. So Lauren, thank you. How you doing?
I am well, but in keeping in context with today's topic, my heart is definitely heavy.
Very much so. We have a this is why I wanted to do this way. We have a serious topic. I'm supposed to turn on my TV. I'm supposed to have my stuff on, but anyway, we have a serious topic to talk about. Um, there is a story out now about a young artist named PNB Rock, who was killed, murdered at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And this happened 2 days ago, I believe. I want to get that right. He was out to dinner or out to breakfast, really, with his girlfriend, and he was murdered. And the story kind of went from there. Now, I'm going to be honest. I had heard that name before, but I was not familiar with his work at all. Were you familiar with him? Had you heard of him before?
I'd heard of him, but like you, I wasn't familiar with his work, just his namesake. And I knew that he was an entertainer.
I'll just turn this off today. Yes. And so I remember when I saw the headline, like I said, I probably wouldn't have known the brother's face. I just had heard the name. And so now, as the details come out, there's just some things that are really, it's disturbing for anybody to lose their life. He's 30 years old. He's got a little girl, I think two little girls actually. It's very disturbing. But the details of this apparently was that it was a robbery, and they do know that he was robbed for jewelry at the Roscoe's, and apparently not really much of a struggle. Just from what the reports are, give up the jewelry. He was shot kind of without even retaliation and robbed, and the shooter went out the side exit and into a waiting car. Now, part of kind of the story of what you want to believe or what you do not want to believe is, well, what did happen was that his girlfriend with him posted their location. She kind of posted her plate as people do, and she posted, at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Now, there are people that are believing that gave the killers the target to know where he was going to be and to then attack. So a lot of people are coming down very hard on this young lady, who I don't know her. I don't know if she's in the industry at all or anything like that. There's a lot of stuff on the internet that's kind of going too far, I feel. It seems like more people are blaming her than are even blaming the shooters, which is crazy. But and we're going to get to that. But let's just talk first of all about the concept now, because a lot of celebrities are kind of talking about this, how it's just not safe to post your location until after you're gone. What do you think about that concept of, if you're at the restaurant or you're having fun with your family, just a regular, not even in like a bad thing he was doing, just eating. What do you feel about people feeling it's not safe to post your location?
I do agree with that. I actually abide by that, and I'm not even famous. I just
Well,
feel like
locally you are, but yes. Okay.
no, but I just feel like when it comes to social media, you never know who is watching. Social media has put everybody on a global platform, and there could be some isolated, lonely person in the corner of the world literally stalking you, and you would have no idea. They could be, you know, looking at your patterns, your movements. You just never know. And you can never be too sure, and you can never be too safe. So I make it a habit that I don't post my location until I'm already gone, just for, general safety purposes. Do I feel like that is what led to his demise? We'll go into that a little bit later.
Yeah. I'm going to say for me, I don't know if I ever really do post my location. It's weird. I have shows and podcasts and stuff. So it's like, well, you're on social media, but I'm not really a big take a bunch of pictures person. My Instagram stories at best might be 2-3 pages. I don't do a lot. And so, like I was just at a wedding and I did a little DJ thing at a wedding. It didn't even occur to me to post like the location of where I was at. I did post a picture um, shortly afterward, but that's not something I even think about. But I understand from a celebrity point of view for sure. Even just for privacy, like Michael Jordan could be at the mall. He's not going to post that I'm at the mall because he doesn't want to get mobbed and all that stuff. But now we're talking about a nefarious kind of thing. And what I'm hearing a lot of people say in LA, this is Roscoe's in LA, of course, it's an LA chain, was that basically PNB was pretty much at one of the more unsafe locations at Roscoe's as well. That, there are some that are, in more kind of like tourist places and affluent places, but this was in more of the kind of a rougher neighborhood that he was even at. And so many people are like, what was he even doing at that one? And do you remember the artist? I remember this happened with Pop Smoke. Do you remember that story?
I do remember that he was in the shower at the
He
time of home invasion.
It was a home invasion, and I guess a friend of his that was with him had posted a picture, and within the picture was the address of where they were staying, and then some people came to rob him there. So I want to first let me ask you this, because this is what's probably not going to happen that I wish would happen. Where are we at in society to where you can gun somebody down who, from what we know from the story, has not done anything to you? There's no beef. PNB is from Philly. There seems to be no gang affiliation with him, at least there's no problem. But just for jewelry, it's like I want to ask these guys, whoever did this, how do you feel now? Like, do you feel good? Like, you got jewelry that you probably can't sell because it's way too hot to sell. Like, what was the point of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, that kind of stuff makes no sense. Like, we talk about senseless violence all the time. This is as senseless and ridiculous as it comes. Like, you took his chain for what? For money? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no cost for this. What are your thoughts on just the act itself?
I think it's horrific. I think it's senseless to do this in broad daylight in front of employees and in front of his girlfriend. It's just the most bold, heartless, tragedy that you could do. And I honestly feel like this was more than a robbery, because I'm pretty sure that with a gun in his face, with no security present, he would have been willing to give up the jewelry. To go so far as to kill him in cold blood, I feel like it was more than that. And there was a podcast interview that he did a couple of weeks ago. It was eerie that it resurfaced. And he actually said that he had been, quote unquote, tried before in LA, meaning he had been targeted before. So I don't know if he was just thinking that he was invincible or that it would be harmless or quick, but that area is what I feel like it was. And just to kind of circle back to what we said, yes, posting your location is absolutely dangerous, but do I think that there were thugs, gang members somewhere who were stalking his girlfriend's page? I don't. I think that he was in this bad area to begin with. He probably pulled up in a car that was definitely an expensive luxury car, and he had jewelry on him. So I'm thinking that he was seen and word quickly spread.
That could be it. And I mean, even when you talk logistically, um, in terms of it, let's go with the girlfriend theory very quickly. If she posts something, I mean, does somebody say, "Oh, he's there. Let's get the guns. Let's get in the car. Let's," like, just to even organize something like that, even as crude as it was, it's just hard to believe like somebody could that quickly just weaponize it. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, or it could have literally just been wrong place. wrong time. So, but let's now move deeper into the girlfriend issue. So now again, it's internet. There's a lot of conjecture. I do not know if this is true. There's a story out now that his brother has said that you know, she would do this and she would post locations. And even in that interview with DJ Academics, he kind of talked about how his girl, she was not always she was just kind of unaware that this is really a problem. Like, oh, we're just having fun. Like, why, and according to the internet, some people say that, you know, he had her suspend her account for a while because she was posting too many locations. I don't know if that's true or not. But I do know that whether or not, first of all, I don't believe she set him up. Let's stop that right there. Yeah, because okay, if that's his girlfriend and she lives with him, why would you set someone up in a public place? There could have been an undercover officer there. There could have been a civilian armed. If you wanted to kill him, let the killers in the house and just call it a break-in. Like that's ridiculous. Like that's too much. But
Not to
I do.
mention, I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that she loved him unconditionally. But even outside of that, since we want to talk about logistics say that this relationship brings her a comfortable lifestyle.
Yes.
I haven't heard him being one of those rappers in the media for disrespecting her, for being a womanizer or anything like that. I don't see the benefit in her setting him up because that takes away the comfortability and the access and the nice things that she's accustomed to. Now, again, I'm not saying that she's all about that. I'm pretty sure she loves him, but that's just my devil's advocate perspective.
Right. It makes no sense for her to set him. Like I saw some people arguing on Twitter, like, yes, well, she did it for the money. Like, what money? They're not married. There's no, what is she in the will, or like what benefit, what motive would she have to do this to get paid off? And again, there's so many variables that could go wrong in this kind of a setup. And she's there. That's crazy to me. But I will say this. I'm not trying to come. I don't know this young lady from nothing. I don't know him. It's hard to even me to get too deep in this, but it is probably not great judgment if you are with the person that's in the public eye. And I don't really know. I honestly, I didn't even get a chance to listen to anything he's done. I don't know if he's a backpack rapper, if he's a gangster rap. I don't know his style, but we do know with that lifestyle, there are eyes and people. We saw what happened to Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? People gonna hate. It doesn't matter, even if you're trying to do good in the community. There are people that are gonna hate on you. And so, with that said, it's probably not.
Pop Smoke, like you said, it's a
Yeah,
her.
I mean, a lot of these rappers, and you have to understand that. And I would have hoped. And again, I hate to just again. She was just probably thinking, "We having breakfast. What's the big deal?" But that is the culture now. That's the social media culture. So I want to know from you though, from a woman's perspective. That's why I didn't want to do this one uh, by myself. Do you at all fault her, even a little bit, in this to where she's with a high profile rapper, and should she have carried herself in maybe a different way?
That's a tough one because if the question is, do I fault her? I don't fault her. However, I do think that location sharing is very dangerous in this day and age. As I said, I feel that way, and I'm not even as well known as they are. I don't have nearly as much assets as they do. So I do feel like that's something that she certainly should have been mindful about. However, I don't think that that would have prevented the situation. I honestly think, like you said, wrong area
Mm-hmm.
and just an area that's already known for targeting him. So
Right.
I feel like that's what it was. Whether she shared it or not, he's in that bad area with flashy jewelry. It screams money. It screams, come at me.
Yeah. That's something too. If I could advise rappers, if they would ever listen to me, I would say this: you really don't want to go out like that unless you are surrounded by people that are making more money than you. Like to go in the hood with a lot of jewelry on and a Rolex. This is not a Rolex, but the Rolex, and pulling up. And I remember even, gosh, it's been so many rappers. Young Dolph, he got killed. He was driving a very nice car, and we just know not every place you probably want to be doing that in, just because you're attracting that kind of attention. Now, you want to go to Diddy's Hampton party, go ahead, ice it out, wear every drop you got. You know what I'm saying? You want to hang with in a big at the Oscars or the Emmys, go ahead. But to be a Roscoe's in the hood, dripping down, I'm not. You can do it. You have a right to. You work for your money. That's fine. But you got to know that comes with something, and to not be there with any security is really. And again, I want to say, just like you, I'm not faulting this young man. It's not. I don't like that. Like, oh well, he deserved it. He's no, because that's like the argument, like because a woman dresses a certain way, she deserves to be groped or molested. I hate that argument. I hate that. But I'm just saying to move maybe with some discretion as well. So what I also want to talk to you about is I've seen so much on social media that people are just kind of like, well, that's the hood, next. And it's like, we can't keep just letting this stuff be what it is. And we just, well, man, that's too bad. Like, these are our communities. And I'm talking to Black people. These are places, and we know we've been put behind the 8 ball for a long time with some things that have happened, all that. But in 2022, I would want us to do better. And I'm seeing so many dismissive comments. Like I said, so many people just blame the girlfriend, or, that is what it is, man. That's the hood. I don't want that to keep being the hood. You get what I'm saying? What do you think? Can we ever come to a point where we just finally be like, yo, this is enough? Like, we can't keep letting this kind of stuff happen where a guy gets gunned down in broad daylight at a restaurant and everybody just shrugs their shoulders.
I honestly have come to a point where my stance on it is, when you make it, unfortunately, I don't think you can go back to the hood. Yeah. That's just me. Because even if he didn't have on all that jewelry, there are some people that just want to do it for the notoriety of being able to say, I'm the one that took him out. Yeah. And so for me, I just feel like once you get to a certain level, you can send money to the hood so that people can, do that work that needs to be done to build it up, to strengthen our communities. But you personally stepping back into the hood, I just don't think it's safe. And I watched a video earlier with Minister Farrakhan, one of the most respected individuals, especially, over the years and with LA and with the gang violence. Yeah. He was one of the only voices that people will really listen to. And even he had a passionate outcry. Like, I can't put out the call for justice when it's mostly Black people killing Black people. The police don't have to, we don't have to have them as an enemy, because we're the enemy to ourselves. So he was like, I want to help. I want to put the call to justice out there, but we have to stop doing this to ourselves. And I'm like, if they don't listen to Minister Farrakhan, if they don't, at this point, I feel like this younger generation is just, let me not say that, the younger gang affiliated generation, right. Not just this generation, the ones who are affiliated with gangs. I feel like there's no limit. I feel like they'll kill your mother, your baby. They'll kill you in front of your mother and your baby. And it used to be a time where there was like limits to it. Yeah. But I feel like it's just so out of control that I don't know. I would pose the question back to you. Like, what do you think could be done to put a stop to this, if anything?
I mean, let's take this crime for what it was. They robbed him of his jewelry. They came in there into a restaurant in broad daylight in the middle of the day, and they took his jewelry. So it's like I wish I could sit down with the killer and be like, so young man, young brother, why did you do this? Are you so into the commercialism that you feel like, man, I want that jewelry, I want what he has? And so, let's get deep for a minute. So why not work to get what he has? Why would you take, what he has? And that's, stealing has been happening since the beginning of time. It's in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not steal. But it's like, you wanted this chain so much that you killed him, took it off his neck, and now you have it. And it's like, okay, so has the lifestyle, do you feel elevated? Do you feel better because you've got this chain now? Like they said, we keep talking about Pop Smoke. They were looking for this Rolex watch. Okay, okay, so is it really about materialism that much that you kill a person that, again, from what we know or understand, really had nothing, no issue with you? And it's like, is that where we're at, to where we're just trying to just take things, and we can bring us to higher levels. We talk about, I mean, governments and how they've done people, and how the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. And it's like, somebody sees something and you got a nice ride, oh, let's jack that ride. Okay, so you jacked the ride. Now what? Like, was there a plan to this? You know what I'm saying? Or why not, build an opportunity? I feel like if we could really reach these young people and let them know, whatever reason you joined that gang, whatever reason you got into that lifestyle, there's so much better for you outside of that. You can build, you can have a home, you can have a life, you can make good money the right way. But they join these gangs because homes are broken up, and or whatever, they start selling the drugs because it's fast money, and this perpetual cycle keeps going to the point, like you said, it's just brazen now. Like you said, they'll gun down anybody for anything. It's like the law of the jungle. It's like kill or be killed. And I really wish that they could see more, because I bet you if they catch these people, God hoping they do, 20 years from now, that person in 20 years in a cell is going to be like, it wasn't worth it. I know he's going to say that, because there's prisoners, you see those scared straight shows, and they're in prison trying to tell another young, don't do this, don't go the way I went. But it's hard to get these folks to listen. So,
because they're not dumb. You know what I mean? Like, when I think about the skill that it takes to commit that type of crime, when I think about the skill that it takes to hotwire a car, the skill that it even takes to run a criminal drug enterprise, from the chemistry of the cooking to the distributing to the multi levels of the organization, and running all these different people that are under you. I'm like, if they would just channel those skills, they could literally be CEOs, engineers. Heck, you could be a military sniper. Like, why is it that we're using these skills to kill our own instead of using them to better our people? And then you do see the comments, and of course, I don't condone anybody being killed, but you see those comments about, like, but Zimmerman is still walking around free. And right. It's just like the things that make you go,
Right. No, that's you hit the nail on the head. I've said that a million times. I hate to say it like this, but a good drug dealer is an outstanding businessman. I mean, and it's like, brother, you could have put this toward a Fortune 500 company instead of doing this illegal. Like, if we could just reach them at an age, and unfortunately the schools fail them. We don't put hardly no. I've railed on this before. We'll build football stadiums for $2 billion like it's nothing. Don't put nothing into these schools. Any society in the history of man where there's lack of education, lack of employment, lack of opportunity, crime rises. You can go back to the Roman Empire. It doesn't matter. And that's what we're seeing. And unfortunately, those that have
the result of systemic racism. I don't take from that. I just wonder, is there anything we can do at this point, or is it just too far gone to where you just have to protect yourself and your family?
That's what I mean. It's like, if they catch these guys and they put them all over the news, will the next set of young guys that want to do something dumb see that and be like, I shouldn't do it? Probably not. They're gonna still do it anyway. And it's like, man, and like what you just said, I just heard a podcast, Van Lathan and Rachel Lynch, and he was just like, I just need to protect myself then, because there's no way to stop this. Those that believe in the Bible, is like, it's some of the worst times of the Bible where we're seeing, it's like where men just love themselves and they only want for themselves. They don't care about anybody else. I miss those times where people were like, yeah, you could just leave your door open at night. You wouldn't have to lock your doors. Them days is gone,
The village raising each other's kids,
know. That stuff. We are far past that, I mean, and it's unfortunate. I grew up in Lansing, Michigan, which was, you know, regular little town, you know, a little bit of, you know, crime. It, nothing crazy, but my mother is from Gary, Indiana, which was not to be played with. And I remember like when we would go there, you know, like the mentality would change. It was crazy though because I had more freedom in Gary, which was at the time the murder capital of the world, and we would run the streets, me and my cousins. But in Lansing and where I was from, like I could barely go around the block. But it was the way you acted was different because you knew it's kind of like we said with the Roscoe's and different places. I'm like, this is you got to be careful out here, man. People get shot out here. I mean, it's crazy, and you know, I know you're from. Did you grew up in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, which is always in top three of murders. And it was one of the reasons why when I was making my decision to move, I'm like, it's getting bad out here because it used to be, like I said, where, you know, it was just for people that were in that life. And now in St. Louis, every time you look up, a woman is shot and killed and her body is found.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, I got to make a change.
yeah. And that's what I mean. It's like, unfortunately, we would love to fix everything and like, you know, make St. Louis better and make this place better, but it seems like if the powers that be don't care, what can the people really do? Because it's like, it seems like I said, it seems like those that are affluent, those that are rich, the lawmakers and all that, they're just letting this stuff go, and it's like they're just leaving regular people to try to pick up the pieces, and we can only do so much. So again, I want to say definitely condolences to this young man's family. Um, again, he's got children. And again, I don't know how long he and the girlfriend together, but I'm sure she's just, you know,
Devastating.
tore up about this. I can't imagine what she's going through, and then to have, yes, whether they got the tip from her or not, she's got to live with the fact that maybe they did, and that's I can't imagine what she's going through again, and it's terrible because it's just
She's not on social media right now. I pray whoever loves her is keeping her away from all these
yeah,
comments.
don't even look at that stuff. That's true. That's another good point. And I just, you know, it's just crazy though. It's like a brother just getting breakfast. You know what I'm saying? And he gone. And for what? You know what I'm
Young
saying?
Dolph cookies. Young Dolph going to get
He
cookies.
went to go get some cookies in his hometown and gunned down. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff, it just really makes no sense. And I just, you know, I pray for my people, you know, I pray for the world, you know what I mean? But it's just like this cycle just drives me nuts. But I really just, and I want to say this again, I keep having to kind of say this, but man, y'all on social media, y'all got to chill sometime. I know you can feel like you can say whatever you want to say, but it gets really toxic really fast. And I think that word toxic gets overused, but not for social media. Like it gets crazy. Like I just watch and I see what people are saying, and then it's just like, man, y'all. I mean, they done made a whole intricate setup and a, you know what I'm saying? Now he's a sacrifice for the. I'm like, okay, man, what are y'all talking about? Like it's
Insane. From Takashi 69 to Whack 100,
yeah.
even Nicki Minaj, who I'm a fan of, I was surprised how hard she went against the young lady. So it's just
I
that
didn't see, yeah, I didn't see what she said, but yeah, a lot of people are really coming. And again, I understand, like I said, I don't put my location. You said you don't put yours, but you know, again, it's just like, man, you would think being able to get breakfast might be all right, but I guess we learning that maybe it is not. It's crazy. It's crazy to say it like that.
it's crazy that you have to Uber Eats. You
You
can't
know,
even.
wow. Um, but yeah, guys, kind of a somber note. But let's end. You kind of alluded to it. I wasn't gonna put all your business in the street, but you already said it. So let's end on this. So you're moving.
I
You are
am.
moving. The one of the most famous people in the St. Louis social scene, and that is not a joke, is moving. Where are you moving to? Yeah, can you say that? Oh, wait. Should we give you a location for that? Maybe we shouldn't give you a location for that. Should we give that or
No, I'm already here. I'm in Dallas,
oh,
and
you already there?
I'm already here.
Oh, you had told, I didn't know you, man. You wasn't playing. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I told you I have to get my setup together so that I
That's
can.
why you're complaining about the. Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
next
I got
time
you.
I'll be ready.
Yeah, see, I really caught you off guard, but okay, Dallas. Um, yeah, but anyway, we're not gonna make it about football. But so you're in Dallas now. How are you liking it so far?
I absolutely love it. It's
Yeah,
beautiful. It's everything. The energy, the vibe, the diversity is incredible. And I know that every city has its bad areas, but I'm so peaceful and I definitely feel safe where I am.
yeah. Well, I mean that is most important, and glad to hear that. I've been to Dallas once. Um, it was a little slow for me, a little kind of, and maybe that's cool for you. You know, it was a little kind of.
Vegas. So you need to go to Houston. Houston is more your
I
speed.
was just about to say I've been to Houston and I did like Houston better. I did. I liked Houston a little better, although they talk about Houston kind of getting crazy too. But I did enjoy Houston. I think I've been to Houston twice. I had a little more enjoyment in Houston, but Dallas is kind of more laid back. It's like more the
Yeah.
South.
I said I need to live here. You know, my daughter go to school here, but then when it's time to party, driving down to Houston.
Right, right. So I'm sure pretty soon you'll acclimate yourself and you'll get back to your photo shoot a month like you were doing in St. Louis. For sure, it won't be long, but glad for you for that. Being again, I'm sure St. Louis. Did they give you like a going away party? Did the mayor come out or anything?
We did have a going away party. The mayor did not come out.
Okay, all right.
But she's a very busy lady, and I had the pleasure of being acquainted with her on multiple occasions. So I know her heart
Of
uh,
course.
with me.
Yeah. You see, y'all think I'm playing. I'm not playing. Like, yeah, she was big in St. Louis. She like was doing it all. But now the people of Dallas get to experience the Lauren Spearman effect. So hopefully that's good as well. So guys, that's the show. I wanted to make this a timely one, and so we had to want to try to get this in quickly. A lot going on this week. I got a couple of shows coming this week as well, already in the pipe. But this is what the beauty of Channel 5 is. We can kind of talk about something in the moment, put it out there. So I want to thank again. I did not know she had already moved. She was telling me something about the setup, and I was like, "You've been on the show a bunch of times. What's wrong with the setup?" But I didn't know she had moved. So it is late when we're taping this. You'll see this in the morning, but it's late. She had to I told her she had to get all done up. She didn't put on a fancy dress, got the hair. So thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it very much. Again, guys, be safe out there. It is what it is, unfortunately. Praying for his family, PNB Rock, again, and all those involved. Praying for better days, y'all, because this is just not the way. But definitely just be safe out there and on social media as well. But this is Channel 5 on the Mighty Sharp Network. Stay with us. We please appreciate if you can like and subscribe, tell a friend about it as well. Lauren, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege as always.
Yes, guys, be blessed. Stay sharp.